Dear 10th class students, today I am here once again before you with my second revision video. This time I have come up with history part where majority of the people, they feel some sort of bore if they hear the word history. If history is taught in a story way, it will be very easy for the students to understand. So I am going to start today one important chapter of this 10th class syllabus, The World Between Wars 1900 to 1950, part 1. Before that, I want to thank all those who are supporting me by hearing my first video. I am getting more and more likes and more people are subscribing my video. I always need this type of cooperation so that it will boost me to teach very well. Thanks for your cooperation, and I need your cooperation like this. Coming back to the history, his story, very important chapter. You have to concentrate well. Once you concentrate history, always you will have interest to go and read history. In this chapter, we have almost all important aspects only. If you take the first part itself, how can you say that 20th century is called as age of extremes? This may be asked for 8 marks. Then what are the similarities between the First World War and Second World War? Then what were the conditions of the terms and conditions of Treaty of Versailles? What was the immediate cause for First World War as well as Second World War? And why UNO is established? What are the specialized agencies of UNO? What are the consequences of the wars? These are all important questions that will be asked. There is every chance that from this lesson, you will get maximum questions. So coming back to the 1 mark questions, you have many questions in here. One is, in which year First World War took place? In which year Second World War took place? What was the immediate cause for First World War? What was the immediate cause for Second World War? What is life expectancy? How we are going to calculate literacy rate? In which year economic depression took place? Which are the secret alliance countries during First World War? Which countries formed the Triple Entente? Which are Axis powers during Second World War? Which are Allied powers during Second World War? Which peaceful organization was established after the end of First World War? Which peaceful organization is established after the end of Second World War? What are the objectives of UNO? Where UNO was established? When it was established? Who was the main person responsible for the establishment of League of Nations? When the British women got right to vote? So these are all the important aspects we have to cover. So let me start this video. Concentrate and listen carefully. Why? Because it is very important. If you concentrate for 15 minutes, you will get not less than 12 to 13 marks in this chapter itself. The first question you have to know is, what was the period of First World War? The period of First World War was 1914 to 1918. What was the period of Second World War? The period of Second World War is 1939 to 1945. Then what was the immediate cause for First World War? The immediate cause for First World War was The killing of Ferdinand and Sofia by a Bosnian Serb. What was the immediate cause for Second World War? The immediate cause for Second World War was Hitler's attack on Poland on 1st September 1939. And so these are all relating to the First and Second World Wars. Coming to the alliances, so which countries formed Triple Alliance during First World War? Germany, Austria, Hungary, Italy. Of course, later on, Italy withdrew from the alliance. Which countries formed Triple Entente? Britain, France, Russia formed Triple Entente. Of course, in between the First World War, Russia withdrew from the war. So these are the alliances during the First World War. Coming to the Second World War, which countries formed into Axis powers? Germany, Japan, Italy. These three formed as Axis powers. Which countries formed into Allied powers? Britain, France, Russia, America. They are all formed into Allied powers. By which treaty the First World War ended? The First World War ended with the Treaty of Versailles. So what was the main effect of First World War? The main effect of First World War was establishment of League of Nations to avoid future wars. Actually, though this League of Nations was established, it was not in a position to avoid wars. So that led to the Second World War. The main person, who was the main person responsible for the establishment of League of Nations? The main person responsible for the establishment of League of Nations was Woodrow Wilson, the then president of America. So these are all the important topics as far as 1 mark questions are concerned. Then we have when UNO is established. UNO is established on 24th October 1945. Which is the headquarters of UNO? New York is the headquarters of UNO. When USSR was formed in the year 1924, expand USSR, Union of Soviet Socialist Republic. When America showered bombs on Japan. See, America showered bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. On Hiroshima, 6th August 1945. On Nagasaki, 9th August 1945. And the British, when did the British women get a right to vote? British women got right to vote in the year 1918. So these are all very, very important for 1 mark questions. You should be very, very careful with the years. The years of First World War, Second World War. And in addition to that, we have one more thing. That is, in which year economic depression was faced? The world faced economic depression in the year 1929. All these are very, very important 1 mark questions. Coming to the 2 mark questions, we have what are the objectives of UNO? Why UNO is established? The objectives of UNO are to avoid future wars. First point is to avoid future wars. Second point is to maintain international peace and security. Third one is to promote social, cultural, economic, scientific, educational cooperation and coordination among all the countries. And the fourth one is to preserve, protect, and promote fundamental human rights and the dignity of individual. See, these objectives you need not by heart. First point is related to second point is related to third. I will repeat again this for your easy understanding. To avoid future wars. That is the first point I told. So if we avoid future wars, automatically peace will be maintained. Second one is to maintain peace and security. So when we can maintain, after maintaining peace, we can promote cooperation and coordination. In which fields we want cooperation, coordination? Social, economic, cultural, educational, scientific, technological, all this. So the third objective is to promote social, economic, cultural, educational, scientific, technological cooperation and coordination among all the countries. And the last one is to preserve, protect, and promote fundamental human rights and dignity of individual. So by having all these objectives, UNO is established. So you have to say why UNO is established. You have to write all this. Sometimes they may ask you what are the objectives of UNO. Then, what are the organs of UNO? There are 5 organs of UNO. Number 1, General Assembly, Security Council, Economic and Social Council, International Court of Justice, and Secretariat. These are the organs of UNO. See, actually this question will come in other chapter, but as this is UNO is related to this lesson, and this lesson is part 1 from 1900 to 1950. So UNO is established in the year 1945. So I am telling you the organs of UNO here itself. Then UNO has certain specialized agencies. So this is also very, very important question. What are the specialized agencies of UNO? So here you have many abbreviations. The specialized agencies of UNO are UNICEF, United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund. That is first one. Then UNESCO, United Nations Educational, Scientific, Cultural Organization. United Nations Educational, Scientific, Cultural Organization. Then ILO, International Labour Organization. WHO, World Health Organization. WTO, World Trade Organization. FAO, Food and Agricultural Organization. So these are all the specialized agencies of UNO. So this question is also very, very important. It may be asked for 2 marks, or it may be asked for 4 marks, or any one of these abbreviations can be given even for 1 mark also. So this is also very, very important. Then why League of Nations is established? Who was the founder of League of Nations? What are the main organs of League of Nations? So this may be asked. League of Nations was established after the end of First World War. The main person responsible for the establishment of League of Nations was Woodrow Wilson of America. Then the special agencies or organs of League of Nations or ILO, WHO. ILO means International Labour Organization. WHO means World Health Organization. So there is every possibility that this may be asked. Then we have one more question. It may be asked for 2 marks or it may be asked even for 4 marks also. What are the similar causes for both the First World War as well as Second World War? See, there are certain causes which can be considered for both First World War as well as Second World War. So I tell you those 4 causes which are having similarity. One is aggressive nationalism. Aggressive nationalism. Then militarism, secret alliances, and imperialism. I have told this in an order. In the textbook, they have given aggressive nationalism, then imperialism, then militarism, then secret alliance. So that this was the order given in textbook. Now I have given you aggressive nationalism, then militarism, then secret alliances. The last one is imperialism. All these 4 causes, if this question can be asked, maybe for 2 marks or maybe for 4 marks, and who knows, it may even be asked for 8 marks also this time. So aggressive nationalism. So what is the meaning of aggressive nationalism? Again, this question may be asked for 2 marks. Aggressive nationalism is nothing but having proud of his one's nation. See, we're all proud of our country. Aggressive nationalism is nothing but having proud of one's country and having hatredness against other country. This is called as aggressive nationalism. People will be proud of their country and at the same time they will be showing hatredness against other country. This feeling is called as aggressive nationalism. This aggressive nationalism was very, very high, mainly among the people of Germans as well as Italians. Germany, after its unification under the leadership of Bismarck, it developed aggressive nationalistic attitude. Similarly, Italy, after its unification, they also adopted the same aggressive nationalistic attitude. Nazism was developed in Germany because of aggressive nature. Fascism was developed in Italy because of this aggressive nature. Especially the aggressive nationalism of Germans was so high that they always compared with Britain. Why Britain only should be considered as the sun never set empire? Why not Germans? So that was the aggressive spirit of Germans. So that is called as aggressive nationalism. Then militarism. When we have such feeling of aggressive nationalism, having pride of their own country and showing the hatredness against other country, then automatically that country wants to increase its military strength. Number of war industries were established. Number of weapons had been prepared. So every country went on filing for arms race. That is militarism. Then secret alliances. To safeguard their country, each and every country wanted to have secret alliances. So during the First World War, Germany had alliances with Austria, Hungary, and Italy, which we call it as Triple Alliance. And Britain, France, Russia, they were formed into Triple Entente. during the period of First World War. So that was the secret alliances developed during First World War. And as far as Second World War was concerned, Germany, Japan, Italy, they formed into Axis powers. Britain, France, Russia, and America, they formed into allied powers. So that is about secret alliances. And lastly, imperialism. What is the meaning of imperialism? One country trying to occupy another country. You have aggressive nature. You have increased your military strength. You have developed secret alliances. Now you will be having interest, and you want to test yourself. So we will try to attack somebody. So that nature was developed because of the first three causes. So like that, imperialism was developed. So all these aligned countries, they started expanding their colonies in Asia, Africa, and Latin America. Germany, Italy, and all the other countries, European countries, they went on occupying colonies. So these are all the four main causes, similar causes for First World War as well as Second World War. I will repeat all the four. One is aggressive nationalism. Second one is militarism. Third one is secret alliance. And fourth one is imperialism. Then we have one more question. Treaty of Versailles. What is this Treaty of Versailles? The First World War came to an end with the Treaty of Versailles. This Treaty of Versailles was developed between the victorious powers and Germany, the defeated power. The terms and conditions of the Treaty of Versailles were very harsh, very severe, and very humiliating. Now let us see what are the terms and conditions of Treaty of Versailles. The first one is Germany surrendered Alsace and Lorraine, which belonged to France. Germany surrendered Alsace and Lorraine, which belonged to France. Germany got these two places because of its victory over France during the Franco-Prussia War in the year 1870. So that those places have to be given back to France. That is the first. Second thing is, whatever colonies Germany had gained outside Europe, all those colonies had to be given back. The third one is, Germany has to reduce its military strength. Germany should not go for production of war material. And the fourth one is, Germany should possess only small navy. It should not possess submarines. And one more point which is not there in your textbook, Germany has to accept as war guilt, and it has to pay heavy war indemnity. Last but not the least, till the fulfillment of the conditions of the Treaty of Versailles, the Allied armies will be stationed at the Rhine Valley. These are all the terms and conditions of the Treaty of Versailles, which were termed as very harsh, very severe, and very humiliating. So these harsh and humiliating terms and conditions made Hitler to take revenge on Britain and France. Then the most important question as far as this lesson is concerned, why 20th century was called as age of extremes or age of transformation? Eric Hobsbawm, an eminent historian, has stated that the 20th century was called as Age of Extremes. Why? See, from 1900 to 1950, the world has witnessed so many changes. So that's why he named it as transformation. Let us see what are those transformations. From 1900 to 1950. See, many countries, first point, many countries adopted democratic form of government. Many countries adopted democratic form of government. Second point is number of colonies got independent. One such colony was India. India was under the control of Britishers and India got independence on 15th August 1947. Literacy levels have been increased from 1900 to 1950. What is the meaning of literacy? Knowing, reading and writing of a language or languages. Literacy levels have been increased. Life expectancy has been increased. Movies came into existence. Next point, there are great developments in science and technology. Women got voting rights. Next point is the world witnessed 2 world wars and the world faced economic depression. See, so many changes had been taken place from 1900 to 1950. Since this is only part 1, certain matters relating to part 1 will be discussed even in part 2 also. I will repeat once again because this is very, very important to concentrate once again. The first point is many countries adopted democracy or democratic form of governments came into existence. Number of colonies got independence. Third one, literacy levels have been increased. Fourth one, life expectancy has been increased. Fifth one, women got right to vote. Next one, scientific knowledge has been developed. Movies came into existence. World witnessed 2 wars and world faced economic depression. So because of all these things, Eric Hobsbawm has stated that the 20th century is called as Age of Extremes or Age of Transformation. So this is very, very important question. See, if you go through this video once or twice, you will show more and more interest to listen to the history classes rather than geography and civics class, which is comparatively easy. So whatever I have told you now, you have to listen once, twice, or thrice. You do not spend much time for this. Just you have to spend only 10 to 15 minutes, at the most 20 minutes, and then it will be very cakewalk for you to get more and more marks. So I will tell you once again the important years, like recapitulation. If you come from 1914, first period of First World War, 1914 to 1918. Establishment of League of Nations, 1920. Then World Economic Depression, 1929. Then period of Second World War, 1939 to 1945. Formation of UNO, October 24th, 1945. Then establishment of USSR, 1924. Then showering of bombs by America on Japan, Hiroshima, 6th August 1945. Nagasaki, 9th August 1945. See, like this, if you discuss these years with one of your friends, then it will be very easy for you to keep in your memory for a long period of time, at least till you complete your 10th class exam. See, whatever we discussed in the last class regarding constitution and regarding this lesson, these two are useful for you, not only for your 10th class exams, even for IAS exams also. Many times, many questions are being asked in the preliminaries of IAS exams based on the Indian Constitution and based on this chapter. So dear students, concentrate well, go through it once or twice. Listen to the video by having utmost concentration. Then it helps you a lot. Subscribe my channel once again. Press the bell icon. Thank you.